Gluten is bad for you. You should stay away from gluten. You should really have a gluten-free diet. I can go around this room right now and ask every one of you guys if you have at least heard this once in your life, one of these terms, one of these different statements. It turns out that this whole gluten-free diet is probably a lot more popular than it was years ago. With so many different kinds of ways to try to lose weight, to try to eat a healthier lifestyle, many people have many different kinds of purposes behind everything they do in particular, and especially when it comes to their way of eating. But this is starting to become very popular. Along with so many different things, you got vegans, you got vegetarians, you got people that are trying to minimize their diet so they can live a healthier lifestyle. All of us all together, is probably just something that irritates us all to all so much just because we're literally trying to figure out what's the big deal. A lot of us have been eating this kind of stuff for a long time, and you got the people that completely all the time just tell you stay away from wheat, stay away from this. So many different kinds of ways of eating that overall it just begs the question, what is wrong with gluten? Well, I'm actually here today to talk about this because this is actually a very big subject, and it might actually turn out to be rather surprising. The truth is, before we figure out what is the purpose of a gluten-free diet, there is something that we do need to address first before anything else. And it's we got to find out, what is gluten altogether? It's one of those things where we all, could say, okay, well, you hear different kinds of answers. You hear it's the wheat, and some people just simply say that it's in pastries, that it's in bread, that it's in this, it's the rye, it's the barley. You hear different kinds of things, but the truth is there's actually a good number of people that don't even know what gluten is. The truth is there's a lot of people that actually jumped into this diet because maybe a friend of theirs recommended it, or sometimes even their yoga teacher told them not to. That's actually a really common one you hear all the time. Well, the truth is gluten isn't necessarily what everybody altogether thinks it is. Most of the time you see, oh, there's no wheat, there's no that, so that means that there's no gluten. But as you can see, the two things are put into two separate categories. You got no wheat and or gluten, as you can see on this particular product here. Gluten is actually an elastic protein that is found in wheat and rye and all these other kinds of products. But it's not exactly what people thought it was. It's an elastic protein that apparently some people, just like lactose, they can't necessarily digest it into their system. The reason this exists, the reason we have these gluten-free diets is because there are two kinds of people that can't have gluten, any products with gluten in them. One of them is people with celiac disease that can't have it, period. Their bodies just can't digest that protein. So this is exactly why you have, just like a lot of lactose free products, you can go into the supermarket anywhere and you'll find a lot of gluten free products altogether. And the whole purpose is because you also have people that have gluten sensitivity, just like, not necessarily people that are lactose intolerant, but people that, just have a gluten sensitivity. So they can't, it leads to all kinds of little problems and so on. They're just not able to digest it properly. But that is the big major reason why we see all these different kinds of gluten-free products out there. It has nothing to do with just simply wanting to eat healthier. Yeah, although I'm sure it has its benefits in that aspect, but its true meaning is just like lactose-free products, just like, people with allergies. In this case, people with celiac disease and people with gluten sensitivity cannot have these products with gluten. They cannot digest gluten properly. So that's why you find a majority of things out there. And this is the main reason why it is. Basically, it's once again, it's your elastic protein that unfortunately some people can't digest. And that's why you have these gluten-free products out there, allowing people to have these different kinds of products that they normally wouldn't be able to have, but now they have that opportunity. I, for one thing, have been personally shocked with what I've seen with the different kinds of products, stuff that I didn't even know they even had it as far as having something involved with gluten free. And this is my suggestion to y'all, to all of you guys out there, that the next time you see gluten free, it may even be something that you might be actually curious about because there's a big purpose behind it. It isn't just so much as this nitpicky little thing where we're just like, oh God, I'm just trying to stay away from gluten. I just don't want to have anything to do with it because it's so bad for you. If your body is built enough where it can actually go ahead and digest gluten, then you're perfectly fine. But of course, keep in mind that the reason these products exist altogether is because of the idea that there are people out there just like, and I've already said it a bunch of times, but here I go again, people that are lactose intolerant, you know, if they had lactose free milk, they can have it without any problems whatsoever. But it's amazing to see what you're looking at, or what you've seen throughout this presentation is only a fraction of what's really out there. They have so many different kinds of products out there, so many things altogether that have gluten naturally in it, but at the same time have actually released they've actually these companies just like Udi's has actually released a lot of products out there that are completely focused on being gluten free. You got bread, you got your frozen pizzas, you got in this case English muffins, you got all kinds of stuff out there that fits perfect for anybody who's trying out the gluten free diet. In general, basically they've already allowed them to have many different kinds of things that any other person would be able to have, such as pastas as well. And that's a big one for me altogether. My whole purpose with this whole entire thing is to pretty much throw out there and have everybody understand all in the same all on that same subject there as to what gluten is, what its purpose is. And I'm here to actually motivate you all. Give it a shot because you actually might like it. You'd be surprised. The different kinds of products that are out there, I feel like anybody could give that a shot. So if you're under this gluten-free diet, good news is that you got plenty of products to choose from. Have a great day.